You just said yourself, Scott, it wasn't a spectacle out there today. 1-1 draw at home to Truro. What were your thoughts on what was a pretty feisty game in the end?
Yeah, it was. We knew what type of game it would be, and that's why we went with big and strong. I think Josh Chapman, when you see him out of the team, you probably wonder why, because he's been a mainstay in the team for a long, long time. And we just felt with Lexus's physicality, and he'd done really well right back in the last home game on a Saturday afternoon against Tunbridge. We knew there was going to be balls in the box. We knew that they were going to load it from everywhere, and they certainly did. They're very good at what they do. They know what they're good at, and they play to their strengths. Got some really good players that can hurt you as well. Obviously, Tyler Harvey's a tough one to play against. He puts himself about. So yeah, overall, I think going behind was really difficult. I think because they don't give much away, they don't concede many goals, and you do worry that you're not going to get back into the game. But to come back again from behind and get a point, it's not the end of the world. I think that's 1 defeat in 6. Disappointing thing is, I think there's 4 draws in there, so we're not getting battered, for a good expression. But at the same time, we need to try and turn some of those draws into wins.
Speaking of Tyler Harvey, we've already spoken about it as well, but probably the biggest talking point of that first half, it appears he may have stopped the ball from hitting the back of the net. In my mind, that's a red and potentially a penalty for Slough. What was being said by the referee on the pitch regarding the incident?
Unbelievable save. Really, really good save. It's one of them. He's a proper good lad. Everyone will do what they can to try and get a result for their team, and I think it's probably sometimes knee-jerk where you just make a decision or a reaction. And for me, I'm stood on the halfway line, and I believe that he just jumped on top of the ball. So it's a really difficult one. The lads are adamant that it's a handball, it's a red card and whatnot. My disappointment is that the linesman's probably got a great view of it unless there's bodies in the way. Get involved. They get involved when there's silly little fouls, but big decisions get involved. That's what they're there for. The ref's probably got a view that's blocked, which is understandable, and you can give him that one. But it's a massive decision in the game. I'll have to see it back. It's one of those ones, but the lads are saying it's the clearest penalty you've ever seen in your life. But yeah, it's probably a little bit of cute play from him, if that's the truth. And listen, that happens in football. You don't always get the rub of the green. So I think the biggest positive from today is going 1-0 down, when I didn't feel like we were threatened too much, and then we've shown a way to get back in, which is important. When you're playing the teams kind of in and around you, you don't want them to win. So really disappointed that we can't get a win at home at the moment. I say that we've drawn our last 2 and won the one before that, but I think because we've been so good at home, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and there's probably expectation to win more matches than not. But I think we're sat 8th or 9th in the league. There's 4 teams at the bottom that would switch places with us in a heartbeat. So we've got to be appreciative of where we're at. We've had a good start to the season. We're probably way above where we expected to be. So yeah, listen, we've got to stay positive. What's after a not disappointing performance, because it's really tough to play against them. You can see their record this year. They've beaten some top sides, and they're well drilled. Like I said, they've got a top manager who's been around. He's done it. Yates as well, that knows the club inside out. So yeah, in the end, I think they were happy for a point, even when they went down to 10. When we went down to 10, they were sort of slowing the game down, thinking we'll get back on the M4, the M5, wherever they're going, and take a point.
Are you disappointed in the goal that was conceded as well? I think I know that Charlie's apologised for it, but I mean, at this point now, we have to say that Charlie's probably saved more points than he's lost. So is it just? Yeah,
I've just had a go at Gilbs and Charlie. Both of them just apologised to me coming off the pitch, and I don't like that. I know it's coming from a good place, but Charlie has been absolutely superb, and Gilbs has been absolutely superb. So if Gilbs played at 95% of the player that he can be, it's no good to me, it's no good to the team. We want him at 100%, and that's what he does. He goes and rats and gets around the ball and wins the ball back and harries and pressures people. So that's part of his game. He's made a split-second decision where he's a little bit late. I've got no problems with that. It's going to be disappointing to miss him for next week in a really tough game. And Charlie, yet again, he's saved us more points than what we've won. So yeah, it's absolutely fine. There's no dramas to that.
And just a quick word on the excellent finish from Slavia as well. From that set piece was another good finish from him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he probably needed that, because he didn't have loads of the ball, and when he did, he had a battle up with their centre halves. He was up there by himself today, and it was a bit of a lonely role at times. But the game plan was to try and get the ball out wide, as you probably see. David O'Connor, Franny trying to get fullbacks into the game. And we did it, I think, in the first half. We got into some good areas, but probably didn't get enough bodies in the box. And they're quite content in dealing with balls into the box. They're absolute giants at the back. And that's probably why they've built their team around the long throw and things like that. And it's a way to win. You only have to look at Tamworth last night. There's probably about a 50-metre throw that goes into the box. And sometimes I wish that we had one of them, because it is a weapon. But yeah, Slavvy's finish was incredible, and he needed that. He was about to come off, so we left him on for another 10 minutes. And the person that was going to come on was Sam, and he's been really unlucky not to start today. But from a matter of change in shape, he just didn't fit into the team today. We wanted to go one up top and two wide rather than two up. We wanted to get width into the team. So I felt really sorry for Sam, because he's got 3 goals, I think, in 4 games. But obviously we've got Tuesday night as well, so I'm sure we'll have to freshen it up. There's some tired bodies in there, some bad and bruised bodies. So obviously it's a big game on Tuesday. If we can get 3 points in that, then it's not a bad weekend.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, Tuesday evening at home to Bath, which I'm sure, because of prior events, is going to be something that a few people are going to be talking about. Just looking to that game now, does this result sort of put a little bit of pressure on that one at all?
Yeah, listen, other people talk about it. I think for me it's done and dusted, it's buried. There was obviously a bit of a sour taste in our mouths last year, but it's football, we've moved on, there's worse things in life. I think for me it's just another football match. We want to get a positive result, we believe that we can. They're not having the greatest of seasons, but it only takes a couple of wins and they're back involved in it. I went to watch them on Tuesday night against Worthing, and they were very good. So it's going to be a tough game. Bath's never an easy game, they're going to be fired up for it. I just said to the lads, we've probably got half a squad left from last year that were actually involved in that day, where it did become a little bit chaotic and yeah, a little bit crazy. But yeah, listen, it's done and dusted. I know the fans have probably got a little bit of a sour taste yet again in their mouth, but it is what it is. It's football. There's worse things in life, and we just need to treat it like another match. Take the emotion out of it, but play like we do at home, with an intensity, with a tempo and a purpose, and hopefully come out on the right end of the result.
Thanks for your thoughts, Scott, and another point gained, and we look forward to seeing you again on Tuesday.
Cheers, Con. Thank you.